13 years old. It's an age of dreams, of first loves, of boundless possibility. For Mary Booth, a black girl living in 1882 Virginia, it was the age she was sentenced to hang. Wrongfully accused of poisoning her white employers, Mary became a pawn in a justice system rigged against her. Her story, tragically not uncommon for the time, lays bare the brutal realities of systemic racism and the vulnerability of black children in the post-Civil War South. This is Mary's story, a chilling reminder of the human cost of prejudice and a testament to the enduring fight for justice. This is not just a story about the past, it is a story about the present. It's a story about how the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow continues to haunt us, how systemic racism continues to poison our justice system, and how black and brown people continue to be denied basic human rights. Mary Booth's story is a story that needs to be told. It's a story that needs to be heard. It's a story that needs to be remembered.
Mary's story is a story of resilience. Despite the horrors she endured, she never gave up hope. She fought for her freedom, and she inspired others to fight for justice. Her story is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. Even in the face of overwhelming odds, we can never give up fighting for what is right.
The year was 1882. Slavery, the institution that had brutally dehumanized black people for centuries, had been abolished for just over a decade. Yet, its shadow loomed large, its tendrils weaving through the fabric of a society still grappling with the ghosts of its past. For black women and girls, freedom was a double-edged sword. Emancipation had brought the chains of chattel slavery crashing down, but it did not shatter the deeply ingrained prejudice that viewed them as less than human, their lives deemed less valuable, their voices deemed less credible. The South, clinging desperately to its racist ideologies, sought new ways to subjugate its black population. Jim Crow laws, designed to disenfranchise and segregate, wormed their way into every facet of life. Black women and girls, already vulnerable, found themselves navigating a world where their very existence was criminalized. They were stereotyped as lascivious Jezebels or docile mammies, their narratives twisted to fit the white imagination. In this environment, accusations against black women and girls were easily made, and even more easily believed. Their voices, often silenced by fear and intimidation, went unheard in courtrooms where justice was often nothing more than a performance for a white audience. Mary Booth, a child on the cusp of womanhood, found herself ensnared in this web of prejudice, her young life hanging precariously in the balance. Born in 1868, Mary Booth entered a world still reeling from the aftershocks of the Civil War. Surry County, Virginia, where she lived with her parents and 7 siblings, was a patchwork of poverty and resilience. Like many black families struggling to rebuild their lives, the Booths faced an uphill battle. Education, a distant dream for many black children, was a luxury they couldn't afford. Survival meant working the fields, tending to white families, contributing however they could to keep their heads above water.
By the tender age of 13, Mary, like countless other black girls, found herself thrust into the role of a domestic worker. At Mount Pleasant Plantation, owned by the Gray family, she cooked, cleaned, and cared for the children. The work was grueling, the hours long, the pay meager, but for Mary it was a necessity, a way to contribute to her family's well-being. She was, in essence, a child raising children, her own innocence chipped away by the weight of adult responsibilities.
On April 7, 1882, tragedy struck Mount Pleasant Plantation. The plantation owner, Clara Gray, and her overseer, Travis Jones, were found dead. The cause? Suspected poisoning. Fear and suspicion gripped the community. In the blink of an eye, Mary's world was turned upside down. Accusations flew, fingers pointed, and the gaze of suspicion fell upon the black workers of Mount Pleasant. Mary, a child caught in a maelstrom of fear and prejudice, became an easy target. Her young life forever altered by the events of that fateful day. The courtroom, often hailed as a sanctuary of justice, became a stage for Mary Booth's public condemnation. The trial, held in May 1882, was less a quest for truth and more a spectacle of racial prejudice. The prosecution, fueled by the racist anxieties of the time, painted Mary as a conniving temptress, a danger to the white family she served.
They ignored the fact that she was a child, barely a teenager, and instead focused on demonizing her, stripping her of her innocence and replacing it with a narrative of calculated malice.
The jury, though unusually comprised of 8 black men, was nonetheless influenced by the pervasive racism of the era. The defense, led by R.E. Boykin, faced an uphill battle. Virginia law at the time prohibited defendants from testifying on their own behalf, effectively silencing Mary and denying her the opportunity to proclaim her innocence.
The evidence presented against Mary was flimsy at best, circumstantial, and lacking any concrete proof. Yet, the power of prejudice proved more persuasive than any lack of evidence. On June 30th, 1882, the jury returned a guilty verdict.
Judge R.W. Arnold, his gavel pounding like a death knell, sentenced Mary Booth to hang. The trial, a chilling display of racial injustice, revealed the fragility of justice in a society still grappling with the legacy of slavery. Mary Booth, a child unjustly condemned, became a tragic symbol of a system that valued white lives over black lives, a system where justice was often a privilege reserved for the privileged.
I remember the cold, the darkness. It felt like the walls were closing in on me.
Mary Booth, just 13 years old, found herself in a place where no child should ever be. The prison was unforgiving, a constant reminder of the harsh reality she faced.
I kept thinking of my family, my mother, my sister. I wondered if I would ever see them again.
Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Mary's hope began to wane, but then a glimmer of light appeared.
After careful consideration, I have decided to commute Mary Booth's sentence. She will not hang for this crime.
Governor William Cameron's decision brought a sense of relief to Mary and her family. Her life, once teetering on the edge, was given a second chance.
I couldn't believe it. I was going to live. I had another chance.
Mary Booth's story, a poignant reminder of the fragility of justice, leaves us reflecting on the power of mercy and the resilience of the human spirit. The community was left grappling with the shadow of Reuben Gray. His actions had cast a long, dark shadow over the town, leaving everyone questioning how such a tragedy could have occurred. The echoes of his crime lingered, affecting not just the Booth family but everyone who lived in the vicinity. It was a time of reflection and, well, a time of sorrow.
After everything, I just want to live a normal life, but it's hard to forget what happened.
Mary Booth's exoneration brought a bittersweet relief. Though she was now free, the scars of her wrongful conviction and near execution were deep. The community's support was a balm, but the memories lingered, a constant reminder of how fragile justice can be.
I try to move on, but some days are harder than others. The past, it doesn't just disappear.
Life after exoneration was a journey of healing and, well, resilience. Mary had to rebuild her life, piece by piece, with the help of her family and the community that rallied around her. Mary Booth's story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Despite the grave injustice she suffered, she emerged stronger, a symbol of hope and perseverance. Her legacy is one of courage in the face of overwhelming odds.
If my story can help even one person, then it was worth telling. We must fight for justice for everyone.
The legacy of Mary Booth serves as a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance in the pursuit of justice. Her resilience continues to inspire, urging us to strive for a fairer, more just society. Mary Booth's fight did not end with her exoneration. She dedicated her life to advocating for justice, ensuring that no one else would suffer as she did. Her story became a rallying cry for legal reforms and the protection of the innocent. Through her tireless efforts, Mary Booth became a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome even the darkest of times. Her legacy continues to inspire, reminding us all of the importance of fighting for a just future.
A silent observer, a cosmic dream, a spiritual seeker, a divine beam.
Walk through the fire, emerge from the flame, a phoenix reborn, forever the same. Felt the oneness, the unisys grace, a boundless connection, a sacred state. In a dance of stars, I find my place. In the cosmic ballet, I feel its grace. From a nebulous bird to a supernova's light, a journey through time.